Make sure my mat didn't disappear. And it didn't. Awesome. Okay. Hello, happy Thursday. We are Pilatesing. If you weren't super sure, I'm going to run through them really quickly again. Props that we're going to be using today is a small tea towel or a blanket. This will be to support your head as we move into some ab work whenever we're lying on our back. And then a shower towel as well. If you have one, it doesn't have to be fancy. We're going to be rolling it up to create a bit of space for us to work in some extension, which is always a super fun thing to do. Let's start standing today and taking a second to come down into our bodies, down into the space. Maybe let your head just hang, let your arms just hang, give your head a little roll, whatever feels good for you. And as you inhale, let's reach those arms up overhead. Give yourself a nice big stretch. And then exhale, sort of like eagle arms. Can you bring them down? Again, we're going to inhale, sweep those arms up. Nice big stretch like you're trying to lift your ribcage up and off of the place. And then bring it down. One more time. Inhale, big sweep up, big reach, maybe wiggling up through those sides of the ribs. And then as you exhale, as you do that nice swoopy eagle arm down, can you start to nod your nose, nod your chin, start to round through your spine, curling yourself forward, keeping a gentle bend in those knees as you go. At the bottom, taking a breath to just let yourself sort of feel what it feels like to be here. And then as you exhale, push through those feet. Start to use your glutes. Use your low abs to help you as you bring yourself all the way back up. Stack yourself up higher than you started and reach those arms up again. Exhale, round. Scooping through your body. Trying to really articulate every little space here, which can get tricky, right? Especially in our low lumbar. It doesn't like to find flexion. It likes to stay extended. So we have to think about it a little more intensively. At the bottom, you can take your hands, give your calves a rub, give your hamstrings a rub, your ankles, back of your neck, shoulders. Of course, if being head down doesn't feel great, you can always come up halfway. That's totally an option. At the bottom here, taking a breath in. And then again, as you breathe out, push your feet. As you roll up, can we reverse engineer this? So I'm still scooping, I'm still using glutes. And as I bring myself up tall, I'm trying to stand up taller. Sweep those arms up, nice big stretch. And then one more time, whoop, let's round ourselves down. Again, scooping and hollowing, letting our bodies melt, letting it be partially active, partly passive. Yeah, our lower body is supporting us, and we're scooping, we're hollowing, but we're letting the energy hang. If it feels good to give your head a little shake side to side, you can. A little nod yes, a little nod no. We're going to bend into our left knee, place your left hand on the floor, and then start to rotate your chest over to the right, reaching that right arm up. Watch the bottom shoulder doesn't connect up with you. Take a big breath in here. Again, you could do this from up here, no problem. And then exhale, bring yourself all the way back down. Bend into your right knee, place your right hand on the floor, spiral your chest around to the left. Again, watch that right shoulder doesn't squeeze up to your ear. We want to keep it away, and then we lengthen ourselves up. Taking a breath in at the top, and then letting that arm come down. Bend through both of your knees. Push your feet through the floor as we roll ourselves all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. If you're not oriented on your mat just yet, you're going to come so that you're facing down the laneway of your mat. Nod your nose, nod your chin. So we're doing that cinnamon bun roll again, scooping through our belly, gentle bend in our knees as we rake our way down, and then walk forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're on our hands and knees here, just starting to warm up weight bearing in the wrists. We're going to start by weight bearing on our wrists, which sometimes can be a little niggly. So I want to make sure that they have a chance to warm up before we go anywhere. Hands come down right underneath our shoulders, knees right underneath our hips. And can we start to take our weight back towards our heels? You can tuck your toes if you'd like I have here, just to give yourself a bit of a stretch, but they don't have to be. They can be down. Can you start to circle your body over to the left, taking it forward, feeling your finger pads press into the floor, over and around to the right, and then back through center, going all the way around. So as per always, this class is really just a suggestion. It's just a blueprint of all the things we can be doing together. Keep circling. So I always do my best to make sure that I give as many options as I can. But if there's something that's not working for you, please always feel free to reach out to me and we can troubleshoot together so that when you are in class, you know what your options are. Go the other way with those circles. Again, we're just sort of experimenting with our wrists, just sort of seeing what feels maybe not so fabulous, what feels kind of okay today. It's also giving us a chance to warm up through our shoulders, maybe a little bit of your hips too, depending how circular you're getting there. And then bring it back, give your wrists a little bit of a roll skis. We're gonna do one more little thing for our shoulders, and then it's gonna start. So hands and knees again. Can you keep your arms nice and straight? So we want to channel work up into our shoulder. Here, I'm even going to turn myself around so you can hear me maybe a little bit better. So knees are right underneath our hips. Arms are nice and straight. Now, I'm a good example of hyperextension, if you can see that. Not super great for my joints. So I have to keep a little bit of a bend. We're all going to think about a little bit of a bend. Keep your arms exactly as they are. Can you let your chest melt down towards the floor? But notice my arms didn't change. And then using the work behind my armpits, I'm going to push myself back up. I'm going to let my chest fall through, but I'm keeping my arms at home base. And then I push and bring myself up. The reason why I want to do a little bit of protraction today, or protraction, retraction, I should say, is partially because it's just good for our shoulder health anyway, but also with the situation that we're all in for most of us, lots of sitting happening, maybe more than usual. And so we want to really fire up into the back of the body to find a little more length, a little more support, which will definitely be a theme for today. Push the floor away. One more time, bring it down. Push and then hold. We're going to keep our knees right underneath our hips. We're going to take our fingertips and ever so slightly spiral them in. Just a little spiral in. I'm just going to check Instagram really quickly. So good to breathe. Thank you for sharing. Oh, yes, you're so welcome. Okay. Little fingertips are rotated in. Knees are going to stay right underneath your hips. Can you, right out of the gate, find that push, draw the ribs in, and let's take a second just to be here, and let's start to find that breath. Inhaling through the nose into the backs and sides of the ribs. As you exhale, breathe out through your mouth and draw that rib cage down and in. Pelvic floor draws up, and we're thinking long from head to tail, yeah? So just because we're here doesn't mean we start to collapse through our abs. There's still ab work happening here. Okay, fingertips are spiraled and we're pushing the floor away. We're still wide across our collarbones. You're gonna pull your body forward in space as you bend your elbows. So my nose is going towards the edge of my mat. I hold for a hot second here, and then I push up. We're gonna lower down 3. We're going to lower down 2. We're going to lower down 1. Now push through all 10 fingers, push up. Lower down 3, lower down 2, lower down 1. Strong push. If this doesn't feel good, weight bearing down on the floor like this, you can always come up and do this on a couch, like against the cushions. You could come up and do this against the wall. No problem. Anything that's angling you up a little bit, keep moving so that you're not directly parallel down to the floor. I'm hoping because your knees are right underneath your hips, it's helping with weight distribution a little bit. So even though, yes, right out of the gate, we're working into those arms, we're weight bearing into our wrists. Strong push. We're still going here. I'm hoping because we're on hands and knees, it gives you a little bit of relief. One more time. Down 3, down 2, down 1. Push it up. Take it back. Give your wrists a little roll. Give your wrists a little shake. Okay, getting a little more, maybe those shoulders. Okay. Let's bring it back. If that felt pretty fabulous the way it was, you're going to stay there. Same positioning of the hands, shoulder distance apart, but a little rotation in. But maybe this time we take those knees back a little bit so we're in a kneeling plank. Little bit of housekeeping here. Now again, because this is sort of our first thing out of the gate, we don't feel like we have to rush it. Yeah, we can take time to set ourselves up. Glutes are super on here. Like really make sure your glutes are turned on. Lengthen through your spine and keep drawing those ribs into your chest. Now your glutes have to be on here because otherwise it's just sort of leaving your low back hanging. We still want that glute support. This time we're going to lower down in 1 count and we're going to push up 3, 2, 1. Lower down in 1 count, push up 3, 2, 1. I like to inhale down, like to exhale 3, 2, 1. Keep going. Now, even though we've taken the legs back, which is going to challenge this shape, this movement a little bit more, we want to make sure that we're not dropping our shoulders up. Can we see that? Keep moving. What we want is to keep the shoulder blades on the back, keep the energy of pushing away, even as we're lowering down. There's still this responsibility of the back to be active. 3, 2, 1. Push. It also gets your heart rate going a little bit more, which let's just do that right out of the gate. 3, 2, 1. Strong push. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Strong push. If you'd like to, come onto those forearms or hands and take a little victory plank. If you'd like to take a break, you can. Otherwise, you're happy to be here. Or maybe not happy. Maybe you're just like, I'm going to do it. Reaching out through the crown of your head, reaching out through your heels. Keep drawing those ribs in. Now, again, we want to make sure we're not super rounding here. We also want to make sure we're not collapsed here. We're right in the middle, shooting along through the crown, thinking about broadening across the collarbones, but drawing those ribs and shoulder blades down and in. We've got 5. Glutes are on 4. For 3, for 2, for 1. Bring it down. Take a little break. Okay, we're getting warm. It's happening. Round 3, we're going to take those arms a little bit wider this time, or actually, in fact, a lot wider. They're going to come out wider than your mat if you can. Bringing those arms nice and wide. We're going to bring ourselves back into that kneeling position, or knees right underneath our hips. Yeah, whatever's going to feel good for you. Find where you want to be and then pause. Now, really, it's harder to protract here because your hands are wide. So can we keep pushing away and that length through the spine? Fingertips are directly forward. We lower down 3. We lower down 2. We're just going about halfway, and then we push down for 3. I'm still thinking wide through the chest, strong push. I'm still thinking long through crown of the head and tail, and push down for 3, for 2, for 1. Push the floor away. Using, again, the full work of the hand here, but not just from the hand. The hand is what's pushing the floor away from you, or the wall, or the couch, whatever you're using. The actual energy is coming from all the way behind. Push. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Push, take it back, take a little break. So as we're pushing, it's happening from around and behind us. You have a gorgeous muscle here called your serratus. We're working serratus anterior to push away. Heart rate's happening. Hope you have some water. Grab some if you need it. We're going back down to that. Give your wrists a little rolly if they need to. But we're going to start from the bottom and go up. Whoa, it's going to be exciting. So come all the way down onto your bellies. Take a little break here, take a little breather, and then set those up. You might have to play with this a little bit once you get moving. You might have a better idea of what exactly or where exactly you need those hands to be. Can we start really lazy? I'm going to look towards you. And then as I prepare, as I take an inhale in here, I'm going to bring my shoulder blades onto my back. I'm going to look down. As I breathe out, as if I'm levitating in one long piece, I bring my body up. Got to come forward a little bit. I lower 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold and then melt all the way down. Take a little breath in. Take a little breath out. We inhale, bring ourselves towards center. Notice my shoulder blades are on my back. I'm long from head to tail. My glutes are on. And then in one strong, swift push, I come up. Holding it here, we lower 3, we lower 2, we lower 1. Can you hold it for a hot second? And then melt all the way to the floor. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Take a breath in. Shoulder blades on your back. You're looking forward. Glutes are on strong. Belly is active. We push one strong push up. We lower 3. We lower 2. We lower 1. We hover. We melt to the floor. Take a quick break. When you're ready, shoulder blades on your back. Look down to the floor. Draw the ribs in. Your backwards push up here. And then 3, 2, 1. And then melt down. I call it a backwards push up because we're starting from a lazy place instead of an active place. Again, shoulder blades on the back, look down, draw the ribs in, glutes strong. You could always, if you're feeling, I can't do it, I'm not strong. If you're feeling really strong, you can push up to a plank. Lower 3, 2, 1, melt. Let's do 2 more. So picking what version of this works for you. Again, you could be on a couch. 3, 2, 1, little hover, and then melt it down. One more time, shoulder blades on your back, looking to the floor. When you're ready, push it up, down 3, 2, 1, melt it to the floor. Find your forearms. When you're ready, find that plank again. firing up through the glutes, lengthening long through the spine, wide across the collarbones, long from head to tail. Belly and ribs are drawing in. Quads are nice and active. And even though it's tempting to super round here, can we keep it quite long? We're holding for 5. We're going for 4. We're going for 3, for 2. Last one. Bring it down. Give yourself just a little rock, a little shell stretch. Nice breath in. Nice breath out. And then bring yourself all the way up. Okay, you're going to grab for your blankety props, please. So your towel, let's just set it up so it's ready to go. Can you fold it so it's in a nice long rectangular shape? And then I like to curl the edges in because it just keeps it really tidy. So you're going to curl the edges in and roll it up so that you have a bit of a blanket sausage. Once you've rolled your blanket up and made your little blanket sausage, you can just pop it off to the side. We're going to use it in a second. For other little guy, your other little towel, folding it up so it's creating a little bit of a pillow for you, and then that's going to go where your head's going to go. We're going to come over onto our backs, start to charge up through the front of the body now. So because we're not lifting up our hips, something behind the head is nice. It's going to help avoid any extra neck tension. You could always roll it so it's right underneath your neck and lifting your head that way. Yeah, be where you need to be so you have the most support. Keeping our hips or checking in with our hips neutral to start. Hip bones and pubic bone are relatively level. We're going to take our breath in again through our nose, inhaling backs and sides of the ribs. Exhaling out through our mouths like you're blowing out a candle. And so in Pilates, if we've never practiced together before, that exhale breath is a breath of activity. So we always take a second to make sure it's really turned on so that you get more bang for your buck when we work into our actual core work. Inhaling through our nose, backs and sides of the ribs. Feel the back edges of your ribs expand against the mat. And as you breathe out, you're blowing that candle away. I want you to notice, please, as you inhale that your ribs expand up and backwards. And as you exhale, your ribs draw down. Let that happen. The next little piece here is our pelvic floor, pubic bone to coccyx, like a pancake. And as you inhale, that pelvic floor is just gentle. And then as you exhale, your pelvic floor is drawing up towards your belly button. So I know all of a sudden we're thinking about all these pieces, but they're really, really important so that you get the most out of your core work. Last little piece of the pie here, as your ribs are drawing down, as your pelvic floor is drawing up, we want to think wide across our belly button so that it doesn't get squishy and niggly. Okay, we're going to not use our glutes. We're going to keep them off. Take your breath in. Hip bones and pubic bone are level. As you breathe out, let's just think about that pancake drawing up, or a milkshake, or a blueberry, or a zipper. All of these things up with the pelvic floor, but keep thinking wide. Inhale to let that soften down a little bit. And then exhale, pelvic floor draws up. Ribs draw down, belly button goes wide. We're going to add some movement here. So channeling your pelvic bowl, inhaling. And as you exhale, feel like your hip bones want to draw down and back, so much so that your low back finds the floor behind you. Inhale, you release this. Remember, there's no glutes here. If you had a marble at your pubic bone, as you breathe out, as you scoop your low belly down and back, that marble would roll down towards your belly button. Inhale to lengthen back to your neutral. As you exhale, those hips are sliding down and back, as if they want to touch the back corners of your back ribs. 2 more. Inhale to release to neutral. Again, make sure this is not your glutes. As you exhale, your pelvis scoops down, but your ribs are drawing down too, right? So make sure they don't get left behind. 1 more time. Inhale to release this. As you exhale, everything is drawing down towards the floor and then freeze. So your belly button, your midsection is like a sinkhole. Everything's drawn down and into it, and we can feel the relationship of our low back, our back ribs on the floor. Take your arms, reach them up to the ceiling, and squeeze your arms into fists. Take your inhale here. Exhaling it. Keep scooping and drawing everything down and into the belly. Okay, arms are nice and tight. Fists are made. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, can you roll up to your toes? Inhale to let your heels come back down. Exhale, heels lift, roll up to your toes. Few of these. You keep going. Now, as you're doing this seemingly pretty innocent little bit of an experience here of lifting your heels, can you make sure nothing funky is happening through your belly? There's no popping, there's no bubbling. And the reason I'm taking extra time today is because what I have planned for core work requires us to be so connected to this. You're gonna love it. Abs are gonna be on fire. One more time, roll up to your toes and then freeze. Now, as long as everything is going well with that belly, can you bring one or both legs up to a tabletop and we meet here? Take your breath in through the nose. Breathe out, scoop through your belly. Draw those ribs in. So low back is scooped to the floor. Belly button is wide. Ribs are drawing down. You have fists in your arms right now. Take those hands, place your hands against your thighs, and let's flex through our feet so your toes are looking up at the ceiling. Now remember, our goal here is to keep scooping. I want so much action from pubic bone to belly button here. You're like, holy moly, I've never felt my low abs before. Yeah, that's how intense I would like it to be, which requires us to do a little bit of traction here. So take your breath in. And as you breathe out, you scoop the belly and then push your hands into your thighs and pull back with your thighs into your hands. You're going to hold that tension for 10, for 9, for 8, for 7. Keep breathing for 6. Keep scooping for 5. Can you scoop more? 4, for 3, for 2. Keep your legs up. Take an inhale to release your hands. As you exhale, press your hands into your thighs. Scoop your low belly more, wide and flat against the belly button. Pull your thighs in towards you as you simultaneously push them away and keep scooping for 10. Now, if this is too much on your low back and your legs, you can always let your heels flop down. If that gives you a little more accessibility, you could also still have your toes on the floor. For 4, for 3, for 2, last one, let that go, but don't let your legs drop down. Take a breath in. One more time together, please. As we exhale, squeeze the thighs in towards the hands in towards the thighs. Scoop and hollow the belly. So this is where that towel behind your head comes in handy because it would be really tempting to be up with your neck. We keep letting upper body, shoulders, head be gentle on the floor. For 3, for 2, for 1, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock and roll. So your deepest muscle of your abdominal package, your transversus abdominis, wraps around to your low back. So when we turn it on, which is something that we were just doing, you might feel something radiate into your low back. If it feels tolerable, like, okay, I'm working muscles, then please don't be afraid of that. If what you're feeling is achy, painy, no bueno, I need to come out of this, then come out of it, yeah? But just know that you do have muscles that wrap around there and we want them to be strong too. Okay, round 2. Arms are reaching up. Let's squeeze those arms into fists. I'm releasing my low back off of the floor to start, so hip bones, pubic bone are level. Take your breath in through your nose. Let's sigh it out through our mouth. We're warming up those abs. Inhale here. From the low belly, as you exhale, let's scoop and hollow back like we're trying to draw the hip bones down to the outsides of the waist. Ribs are drawing down towards belly button. Everything's wrapping wide. Take your breath in. Keep squeezing your arms. As you breathe out, we're rolling up to our toes. The squeezy arm thing I love because it adds a little more arm recruitment and we're creating more tension in the body, which I really love. Take your breath in here. And as you breathe out, either both legs up at the same time or one at a time, bring those legs up to a table. Flex through your feet. And it's like you're really trying to think about pushing something away and hollowing in. Take those hands and place them back against your thighs. We're going to take both of our hands and place them against the right thigh. So they're stacked on top of each other. Take a breath in here. And as you breathe out, can you scoop? And can you pull the right thigh in as both of your hands push back? Inhale to release the tension. But as you exhale, it's all coming from the low belly first. And so what I would like you to be able to feel, inhale, release, exhale to scoop and draw in. What I would like you to feel right out of the gate is that ab series turning on. It's happening deep in your low belly before we add anything else. If this is going well, as you exhale, squeeze right thigh in and then lengthen left leg away. Now notice I keep it pretty high because I have to think about scooping. Inhale to pull the left leg in. As I exhale, I hollow my belly. I push into my thigh. Thigh resists. Left bum squeezes as I reach left leg away. Inhale to pull it in. It's happening. Exhale to reach. Good. Keep going here. I'm going to troubleshoot with you. So it feels in theory like the lower we go, the harder it is, which is true, but only if you're extra scooping through your belly. Yeah. So you're resisting the movement of your leg. If we just let that leg go without thinking about it, my low back goes with me and I've defeated the purpose of using my abs. If I'm scooping like crazy and as my leg reaches, I'm scooping more. So my low back never leaves the floor and it's happening by the musculature support. That's when it gets exciting. Exhale to reach. We're going for 2. Exhale to reach it out. Still pulling right thigh in. One more time. Did you hear that vibration in my voice? Reach and then hold. If it's reasonable to keep the leg out, hold it there. Keep squeezing the thigh in. We hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in, but don't drop down if you can help it. Maybe drop the ankles if you need to. Take a breath in. Breathe out, recalibrate. Drawing that pelvic floor up like an elevator, scooping the low back, drawing the ribs down. Both hands this time, find your left thigh. Before we reach the right leg, inhale in. Exhale, squeeze the hands into that thigh. As you push into the thigh, resist back so that it doesn't go anywhere, but there's lots of tension. And before we even think about moving that right leg, we're already feeling stuff happen through the low belly. Take your breath in here. And as you breathe out, your right leg reaches away. Inhale it in. And exhale, I'm scooping back. I'm drawing back with that low belly so much, so I don't even need to let that leg go very far to the ground. In fact, I feel more work when I keep it up. The reaching leg is happening on an exhale. Keep pushing hands into thigh into hands, so that I can recruit the muscles that are drawing up. Exhale. Don't forget about that push and pull of the thigh that's connected to your hands. We're working through the quads here. If you're feeling a little hip flexory, that's okay, as long as you're feeling into your abs as well. We're going for 2. One more time. This is our grand finale of this series. Hold it out here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your legs in, lower them down. Give your legs a little shake side to side. Okay, that was kind of fun and exciting. We're going to add a layer on here. Bring your feet back. Can you open your arms out beside you into a T or a cactus, whatever you have room for? We're going to take that breath in. And as you breathe out, find that scoop again. Keep scooping. Lift one leg up to a table. Lift your second leg up to a table if you can. Now, we're going to really make sure we stay nice and square. And if you look at those knees, your knees should be level with each other, yeah? There's not one further apart. There's not one above or below. They're right next to each other. Can you inhale? And as you inhale, you're going to tip over to your left and make sure that that right knee stays right on top of the left knee. The right hip comes off of the floor, but it doesn't shorten. It's lifting up and out. And then as you exhale, feel the back right rib cage pull you back down to center. As you inhale, can you tip up and over to the right? This time your left leg is on top. Now make sure again that that top knee doesn't shift away. The hips have to stay stacked and reaching long. Lengthen through that left side waist. And then as you breathe out, the back left ribs sort of peel you all the way back to the floor. Inhale, lift up and over to the left. Right leg is on top. Right hip is reaching. Exhale to squeeze and draw yourself down. Now I have to keep talking while I'm doing this with you. So know that you can go for a range that makes sense. As much control as you can keep to draw back. Notice that we're still thinking about that scoop. So as you return back down to the floor, you should still be feeling your low back here. We're just experimenting with how we can troubleshoot this so that we really feel what's happening through the lower part of our obliques as well as into our, again, low abdomen before we add a curl. Yeah, we're totally adding a curl here. If this is getting nice and exciting for you, you can always lengthen the legs long. Same bit of business. We're keeping the feet totally level. And you could also, if you're really feeling spicy and everything else is going well, take this whole shape, I'm shaking, on a diagonal. Reaching up and out and away. Left side waist pulls you back down. Let's do one more each side. Up and over to the left. Right side waist pulls you back. Up and over to the right. Pull it back down. Bring your knees in, plant your feet one at a time down on the floor. Okay, can we keep an essence of that little rock side to side and the control that was happening through your pelvic bowl? We're going to take your head cushion away. We're going to grab for that little towel sausage we created. Don't worry if this feels like slow and steady. You're going to be on fire in like 5 minutes, I promise you. Okay, you're going to take your little towel sausage that we made, and we want to hit it so that it's like right sort of in the middle-ish of our shoulder blades. So I'm like right about here. And notice that allows me to take a bit of a back bend. It's a nice opening through my pecs and chest, but it also means as I curl that I have a little more space to go. We're going to move back into that imprint. So take your hands, interlace your hands behind your head. Allow yourself to open up over your little blanket sausage. Feet are planted. Take your breath in. And as you breathe out, can you find that imprint again, that scoop? Now it's going to feel a little different because our upper body is up and over something. Yeah, we're not level. So know that it's going to feel a bit different. Take your breath in. And as you breathe out, you're scooping. Maybe roll up to your toes. If that feels good, as you breathe out, one leg or both legs at the same time, lift to your table. Now keep your scoop here. Inhale, you're lengthened back, elbows are lifted. And as you exhale from the rib cage, draw down into that little towel, curl up, and now you're in a more contracted place. Inhale as you lengthen back. Do not let your belly button scoop away from the floor. Exhale, our gaze turns from the ceiling to look up between the thighs or over your toes. Inhale. It's amazing what just a little lift can do, yeah? Exhale, scoop like crazy. Draw those ribs in. Everything is sliding towards center. Inhale to lengthen back, but do not lose that low ab scoop. Exhale, we turn our gaze up. Can you imagine doing this and then adding on that really fun hip moment? Because it's going to happen. Inhale back. That's your warning. Exhale, scoop. So there's nothing here that releases as I go and then contracts in. It actually all remains as I inhale. I'm still scooping back, and then I exhale to curl it up. We're going for 3. We're going for 2. It's getting spicy. We want to feel that low ab business. One more time. We're going to curl up and hold it. Hold it at center. Can you reach your left arm up towards the ceiling? Inhale to take a lengthening back. And then this time, can you curl up and reach that left arm over to the right and then freeze? My back right shoulder is a little bit on that towel, but it's definitely not resting. I'm scooped and I'm thinking back of the right shoulder, or left shoulder, sorry, up and over to that right knee. Can we hold that curl? Hold your curl. Now you're going to keep curling up to your right. You're going to tip your pelvis over to meet you on that diagonal. Make sure that your top knee stays exactly where it is. And then as you exhale, scoop and pull your legs back, but you're still in your curl. Lift your pelvis up so that left hip comes off of the floor. The left knee stays stacked. You're still curling. So you're in like a complete lean here. And then use the back of your left pelvis to pull your pelvis back to the floor, but you're still in your curl. Inhale to lengthen that pelvis up and over. Keep that top hip stacked. Exhale to pull it back. Now remember, you have options here. You could reach the legs. You could take them on a diagonal as you lift your pelvis up and over, but you're still curled. And then exhale, pull the pelvis back, low back finds the floor. 2 more. Inhale to reach. If their legs are on a diagonal, it gets a little spicier. 1 more time. Inhale, they go over. Exhale. Find center, whatever version of center works for you. Keep lifting up in your diagonal. Little pulses here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep scooping. 5. You've got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Take a little break. I'm hoping your whole left side of your obliques there was like hot fire. Good job. We have our other side to do, right? Okay, so starting the exact same way, we're checking back in at home base. Hands are interlaced behind your head. We're looking up at the ceiling. Where are we at for time? Awesome. We're looking up at the ceiling, lifting those elbows up a little bit, and then we scoop into our low belly. So letting your hips, pubic bone be level to start, and then as you exhale, scoop it down. Keep scooping. From your low belly scoop, you're going to take your inhale, and as you exhale, curl it up. So we're still feeling that drawing of ribs to hips, and I'm hoping right out of the gate you feel a lot of stuff happening here. You already feel tension, yeah? And then it's up to you. You can roll up to your toes. You could even hover your toes. You could lift, whatever feels good for you. Let's do a few at center just to like really hammer in that scoop. Inhale as you lengthen back. Do not let your low back scoop off of the floor. As you exhale, slide those ribs down. Find them against that towel as you curl. Inhale to lengthen back. If you don't have a towel, you can still totally just do a regular curl here. The towel just gives us a little bit more extension through that upper body, which I'm sure if you're doing it, you can feel that. It also challenges how much we have to control into that low belly because we're going back further. Inhale back. Exhale to curl, looking between those legs. All right, one more time here. Keep scooping, keep scooping, keep scooping. Exhale, nod and curl up. Keep your scoop. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling for me. Inhale to lengthen back. And as you exhale, right arm reaches up and over to the outside of the left knee. Freeze. Take the arm, bring it behind your head. Now my left shoulder is not resting on that towel. I've scooped. Oh God, I'm on fire. And I've curled up. Now keep your curl up and over to the left this time. Can your hips tip over to join you so your right knee is on top? Do not let it come down. And then the back of the right pelvis pulls your hips back, but you're still in your twist. As you inhale, you're tipping your pelvis over to meet you on the left. Make sure those knees stay stacked so your hip has to lift up with you. And then the back of the right pelvis of rib cage brings the legs down, but you're still in your twist. Do not let yourself rest on that towel. Exhale, draw it down and in. 2 more. I'm trembling. Exhale, scoop and pull it in. 1 more time. Now this is really specific stuff here. Curl. Actually, let's do 2 more because then you can lengthen your legs if you'd like to. And then we're more even. Pull it in. 1 more time. Inhale. Pull your pelvis down. Freeze. Bring your legs where you need them to be. Little pulses up to your left. Let's go. 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep scooping. 4. You got this. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock and roll. If being over this towel feels really great, you can stay like that. If you'd like to stretch your stomach just a little bit, flip over, take that towel away. We do not need it anymore. You're going to come onto your belly and just give yourself a little bit of a lengthening this way. So it's really fun to do like big ab stuff. Don't get me wrong. And we are going to do that. We're also going to do a side plank, but it's going to be a little different than we've done it together before. But that small stuff is really important too. That's like the bang for your buck. That's your home base. That's what's keeping you safe and supported when you're doing the bigger stuff as well, right? So I'd like to make sure we do both. And I'm shaking and sweating. All right, let's bring ourselves all the way up. You're going to turn so that you're along, oh, that was my little knee crack, that you're along the length of your mat. We're just going to go for a little side bend, and then we're going to make it kind of fancy. So you're going to take your left leg, please. It's going to come out beside you. Might feel a little awkward, but that's okay. You're going to inhale to reach that left arm up, and then just take a side bend down and over. Now, if you have blocks or you have, again, like a couch or something nearby, and that feels nice to lean into, you can totally do that. Can we really start to channel through the side of the waist and bring ourselves all the way up? This is sort of a treat and a trick. Like we're definitely enjoying a bit of a side lengthening here, which is nice after all of that curled up flexion work. But then on the way up, you use your obliques to get there. Let's do 2 more. Feels good. Reach it up and over. Sideways brings you all the way up. 1 more time. Up and over. And now we're going to stay. So depending how your back is feeling, this might feel quite extreme. And again, you can bring yourself up if that feels better. Glutes are on to support you. You're in a side bend. Now, if you'd like to keep side bending, please feel free to keep side bending. If you'd like to explore a no-handed side plank, you're going to start to bring yourself up so that your bottom fingertips are just hovered. And then can you lengthen up so much your bottom hand joins you? So you're radiating out. Now, my long leg is like reaching away to counter me. I am using my glutes to support through my pelvis, so make sure that left bum cheek is on, and I'm reaching up and out. If you'd like to make this a little more moving, your bottom hand can come down, and then it can sweep up for 5. You can lower down, ribs are in, sweep up for 4. Lower down just to tap that bottom thigh, lift up for 3. Keep reaching up and over, making sure those shoulders stay away from your ears. 1 more time, reach it up, hold the side shape for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, long line, 4, obliques, 3, you got this, 2, last one, bring it up. If you need to take a little little breather from that, you can. But we're going to come back into that side to move into some awesome glute work. So we're going to, I'm a little teapot our way back over. So your left leg is out. I'm going to show you, I'm going to start us all off of the floor. That was really hard to say. We're all going to start together off of the floor. And once we get moving, I'll show you another option. Okay. So belly is still active. And I know we know where our waist is. I know we know where our obliques are. We just use them. We're going to fire up into our glutes. We're going to, I'm a little teapot over and down to the right. You can tent up on those right fingers, reaching up through your left arm if you'd like to. And then find where you need to be so that you can fire into the top side of that long leg bum and lift that leg up. You're going to lower down to tap. And then exhale to lift. So this is what we're working on. Those ribs are drawn in. Your glutes are helping to keep your pelvis in line with the rest of you. Your gaze can be forward. It could be down. This one I feel the nicest on the neck, or it can be up. Can we keep opening through our shoulders as we are here? Now, if being up like this is not an option for shoulders, neck, keep moving. You can always come down onto your forearm, lift up like you're still in that side plank, and then we move here. Yeah, so little adjustments. Be where you need to be. We're going to keep going together for 5. And I know my internet's being a little funny today. 4, but technology, what are we going to do? 3, doing our best here. For 2, keep reaching out and up. Last 1, lift your left leg up and then hold. Flex through that foot. That leg comes forward towards the front of the room, but do not let the leg drop down. Squeeze your bum, point your toe, and take that leg back. Flex your foot and take it forward. You can still do this if you're on your forearm. Point your toe, squeeze your leg, and take it back. Now, if you're feeling tons of back here, bend your knee a little bit and do this with a bent knee, and you'll find a little more into the bum. Hopefully you can see my knee is bent there. Again, you could be on your forearm looking up or looking down. Let's go for 3. Top arm is working as an anchor here to lift you up. Bottom waist is drawn in. For 2, leg can be long or bent. I'm going to go with a bent knee today. One more time. Bring the leg right long so that you're one long line. Lift it up a little higher. And then take it up and back. So now it's on an upward diagonal. As I say hello to my sunflower. From the back upward corner, little circles for 8, 7, 6. You've got it. 5. We can do it. For 4. Belly strong. 3, 2, 1. Take it the other way. 8, 7, 6. Up and over. 5. Right in the meaty part of your bum cheek. For 3. For 2. Last 1. Bring it in. Whew. Give your bum a little zhuzh. And then let's take it to the other side. So start with that nice side stretch, and then we add in all the extra fun stuff. Right leg goes out to the side this time. Arms are out nice and wide. Take a second, come down into your body. Belly is nice and stable for you. So we're still keeping that essence of ribs down, pelvic floor up, belly wide. And then we're going to, I'm a little teapot our way over to the left side. You can reach the top arm over again. Maybe this is a nice big stretch through the waist. I hope it is. And then on the way up, we charge up into those right top obliques to pull ourselves upright. Keeping that foot anchored on the floor, we take ourselves up and over. I'm a little teapot. I'm so sorry if anyone is in isolation with children right now. I'm sure you've had enough of the sing-songs. If you're into theater, musical theater at all, Andrew Lloyd Webber is every week making a different musical live on YouTube. I can't remember what this week's is, but last week was Phantom of the Opera. So I've been singing Phantom of the Opera all week. One more time, up and over, and then freeze. Stratford is doing that as well, where you can tune in to see different plays through Stratford Festival. So lots of stuff to do. Okay. That was a little intermission, lengthening ourselves up here. So if you're enjoying this side stretch, feel free to stay in this side stretch. Otherwise, if you'd like to go for that side plank, can we come up to hover on those bottom fingers? Keep reaching top arm and top leg, and then that bottom arm comes up. So I'm one straight long line. This is so much work on your obliques, so much work on your back extensor muscles because they're holding you up in a diagonal, yeah? So know that if you're feeling a lot is happening. If you want to add some movement, bottom arm comes down, just a tap bottom 5, and then lift it up for 5. My glutes are on here, yeah? My leg is rooted. Lower down, lift up for 3. I'm showing off my armpits to you for 2, not up towards my ears. Last one, lift it up, hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one, bring it up. Give yourself a little, just a little release if you need it. Bringing yourselves all the way up. We're going to go back into that I'm a little teapot space for that leg work. I've been doing a lot of side leg work in this shape recently. I love what it does to strengthen the back of our body, strengthen up through our neck, as well as we get an opportunity to take a side bend. So that's why I've been loving it so much, but definitely feel free to come onto your forearm. Okay, arms are out. We're supported through our spine and belly. I'm a little teapot our way down and over to the left, and then lift that leg up. Starting just with lifting and lowering, you're going to tap down, and then we lift up. Tap down, and then we lift up. You got it. So right beside you here, lengthening our body up. We're out to tap, and then lift. So your other option, keep going, is that you could totally be on your forearm. Just make sure that you're not collapsing down into your waist, right? Like it's definitely not a vacation for the upper body. There's a lot happening here to stay really, really nice and engaged and active, which is, again, why I love this option so much, is because we really do feel how the waist has to work here, as well as, of course, that you can point to lift and lower, or you can add a flexion there. Head can be forward, it can be up. You could be looking down to the floor. Let's go for 2. Last one, lift it up. Now keep that foot hip height. Flex out through your toes. Take your foot forward. Keep it lifted. Squeeze your bum. Pull it back. Flex and take it forward. Point your toes. Squeeze your bum. Pull it back. Now we're trying our super duper best here to keep that leg up hip height. If you're feeling so much in hip flexors and low back that this is just not even getting to your glute, bend your knee, yeah? Experiment with that bent knee. Really charge up through the smiley part of your bum cheek and see what happens. I have an extreme bend here so that you can see it. It doesn't have to be that big. Let's go for 3. Squeeze, take it back. Keep the belly stable. Let's go for 2. One more time, bring it right beside you and then freeze. Lift the leg up a little higher, take it up and back on a backwards diagonal, little circles. 8, 7, 6, it's fiery. 5, 4, you got it. 3, we're in it together. 2, last one, other way. 8, 7, belly strong. 6, you can do it. 5, up and over. 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it in. Holy moly. Give yourself a little shake, little shaky shake. Last little bit of business together. We're going to come up to kneeling. So if you want to grab that smaller towel that was supporting you, you totally can. Just so that your knees have something a little more cushiony to be on if you're on a harder floor like I am. We're going to take those arms out to the side. So we started with arms. We started with all those push-ups. We've gone through our body, and now we're coming back to our arms here. Out to the side, we're going to rotate our shoulders down and then back. In and then out. Really go for extreme here. Like how much can you move through that rotator cuff? Now, as much as my shoulders are moving, I'm still keeping my ribs drawn in. I'm still thinking tall through my spine and back. Rotate in and out. In and out. Now, there's different ways you can access this. If being up shoulder height is just like really no bueno for your body, you could always take it down and work in a lower diagonal. That's totally fine too. And then bring it up. It's really interesting, this experience of maybe not having access to hand weights or bands and having to use your own body tension. There's a lot that we can do just by really channeling our mind-body connectivity. So let's do that here. For 4, for 3, for 2. Last one. Take those arms up. Bicep curl, squeeze, show off your muscles and bring those arms forward. And then as you take them back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. I'm going to turn sideways for you. They're forward and then squeeze them together. Forward and squeeze. Now I'm doing my best not to do like a full upper body sway here. Fold it in, Squeeze. I'm really trying to keep myself really supported through the line of my body. So the work here is extremely, losing my words because I'm so working so hard, is really focused, extremely focused on what's happening through your shoulder blade. As they separate, they come forward, they squeeze together. You have your rhomboids in the middle there, bringing them in and squeeze. Let's go for 3. Elbows stay up. Let's go for 2 and squeeze. Last one. Squeeze it in. Pull those arms forward. Now keep showing off your biceps. Like you can kiss your biceps. They're so strong. Keeping your body nice and stable. You're going to pulse those arms up, 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 and up. I was teaching this earlier this week, and because we've been watching more like musicals, whatever's been available really, I feel very like West Side Story, like pa, 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 here. Pulse, pulse, pulse. We're lifting up, and even though it's really being drawn from that bicep, which I do want you to flex and feel, can you also feel like it's coming from underneath you here? Lift and lift. We're going for 10, for 9, for 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze them. 4. You can do it. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Give your arms a little shake. Give your shoulders a little shake. Let's take an inhale to really reach those arms up to the ceiling. Exhale to bring them down. Give your shoulders a little bit of a roll here. Last little bit of business. I feel like I keep saying that, like last little bit of business here, last little bit of business here. It's because there's so many fun things we can do. I like don't want to leave anything out, as I want to like get us going till the very end. Okay, we're going to come all the way down on our bellies here. And this is going to be sort of a different version of planking that we've done together. So you're going to keep your knees down to start with me. And just like we did those like lazy, I called them reverse or upside down push-ups, where we started from relaxed and then lifted up. I want us to do that with our push-up. So you're bringing your with our plank, you're bringing your arms forward and let your chest just chill out. We're going to be keeping our knees down to start. Yeah. So this is sort of like lazy, not too much happening here. Before you lift up into a plank, can you push the floor away so that protraction again is coming back to us? Shoulder blades are drawing wide. Hug the elbows down and then lift up. And we're holding. It's going to be short for 10. For 9, glutes are on. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Melt it down. Be lazy. Take a breath in. As you exhale, push the floor away. Draw the elbows in towards you as you lengthen up and out. Glutes are on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Melt it down. 2 more. You're lazy. And then you push the floor away. Hug the elbows in. Lift upper body up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower down. If you want to find a full plank here, you can. Find lazy first. Push away, elbows in, then lift up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Out through the heels, out through the crown of the head for 2. Last one, lower down. Take your hands, push yourself back. Find a child's pose. If being belly down doesn't feel great, you can flip onto your back and we'll meet you there. Inhale it in. Exhale it out. Let's roll ourselves all the way up. Flip onto our backs. Keep blankets and stuff out from behind your head because we're going to lift our hips up, and then we'll be done. Woo, what a time. What a way to start the day, right? So good. Okay, so feet are planted on the floor. Parallel hip distance. This looks very similar to how we were with our towel, right? Except we just don't have a towel this time. Let's take those arms again into those fists and squeeze them. Like really show off those muscles you just spent so much time working. From your neutral pelvis, feet are parallel hip distance. No low back on the floor yet. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, find the low belly scoop first. Then fire your glutes. Push your feet through the floor as you lift your hips up one vertebrae at a time. Take an inhale at the top. You're squeezing. And then as you exhale from the sternum, undulate, scoop, roll your spine all the way back down, one vertebrae at a time until you're released back to neutral. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, scoop from your low belly, push your feet through the floor, lift your hips up, lengthen like there's a little air bubble behind your kneecaps. Take a breath in here. And then as you breathe out, roll it down. Starting nice and calm. So it's sort of like the upside down version, keep moving here, of our standing roll down that we did, right? So, except instead of standing and rolling down, we're lying down and rolling up. Take a breath in. Again, from the sternum, rolling ourselves all the way down, squeezing through those arms. One more time. We're going to roll up to the top and then we're going to hold it at the top here. So can you imagine like you had maybe your phone between just where your kneecaps are or a ball. So there's energy drawing in, but they're not touching. I don't want them to touch. You're going to stick your bum out halfway and then lift it up, lower down halfway and lift, halfway and lift and lift. Now, there's a kind of an essence at the top of like really, really squeezing, but I actually want you to miss that. So I want you to be moving with so much rhythm and cadence that I sort of don't see you arrive at the top. Just as you get there, you're on your way back down, up and up. Your heels are hugging in towards your glutes. Those arms are squeezing nice and strong, reaching your knees out over your toes. Belly is stable for 10, for 9, for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. We hold it at the top. Take it. Now you can enjoy that squeeze breathing in. Breathe it out. Draw the ribs down. This is not the same as yoga where we're opening through our chest. Remember that imaginary thing between your thighs that you're giving a little squeeze. Roll up to the toes of your left foot. Make sure your hips are still level. Maybe lengthen that left leg out. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee, put that left foot down, pause. Your hips are still level. Glutes are still lifted. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, roll to the toes of your right foot. Keep squeezing. Make sure those hips stay level. And if they're level, lengthen the right leg out. Hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Those were different numbers, but it was the same amount of time. Stick your bum out halfway. Lift it up. Hold it here for 10, 9. Now, can you squeeze everything in your body? 7, every muscle. 6, squeeze your heels in. 5, tense it up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently roll all the way down. Bring your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a little rock side to side. Take your breath in. Take your breath out. Little rocks. Maybe you take those thighs and circle them away from each other and then back in. Just giving a little bit of relief here. And then all the way back around. Plant those feet on the floor. So different options. We're going to move into a figure 4 stretch. So if you'd like to take your right leg, reach it up, cross your right leg over your ankle or over your knee, you can. You could also come up and do this from forearms. I've actually been really enjoying bringing this shape up because I feel like it gives me a chance to open through my shoulders a little bit more, which I really like. Anything to keep opening through my chest is a win to me right now. You can give yourself a little rock side to side here. But again, you could be on forearms if that feels good to open out through those collarbones. If your neck feels okay, you could be on your back. But we're not going to draw the thigh in towards our chest. We're just going to keep rocking it around. And just notice as you rock to the left that maybe you can feel a little more through that right bum cheek. Little rock here. Little rock. One more time. When you're ready, release that leg however feels good. Maybe give your legs a little wobble. And then let's take it the other way. So left ankle comes up, left ankle over the right knee, always flexing through the foot of the thigh of the glute that we're stretching. Little rock side to side. And then again, you could be on your forearms here if you'd like to be. You could be down on your back. You could be standing, or you could totally be doing your own thing, right? Like whatever you feel like your body needs, this is your practice. It's your time. A little work side to side here. A little nuzzle. One more breath. Then when you're ready, gently release that. Let's all make our way up to seated. You're going to lengthen your legs out, and then maybe you grab that towel or blanket, whatever you had, maybe it's a cushion, and just sort of slide it just at the at your tailbone so that you can pitch forward. I don't want it underneath your whole bum. If you'd like to give yourself extra support, you can always slide that other towel underneath your knees, right? Lots of options here. Up nice and tall, and then instead of hinging forward, can you nod your nose and scoop back in on yourself and melt yourself forward? Taking your breath in here, taking your breath out. And then if it feels good, we're going to add a little cat-cow here, which is tricky because your hamstrings are being stretched as well. Hands are placed on the shins. Can you inhale, lengthen your chest? Feel like you're drawing yourself through your arms. And then can you scoop, resist around? And it's like you're trying to push yourself away. 2 more. Inhale to lengthen it up. Exhale, scoop and round yourself away. 1 more time. Inhale to lengthen it up. Exhale to round. Stay rounded. Walk yourself all the way up, stacking your spine nice and tall. Let's bring ourselves to cross-legged. Inhale, let's reach that left arm up. And then exhale it over. Inhale to come up tall. Let's take that right arm up and over. Bring ourselves, both hands, inhale, reach those arms up. As you exhale, give yourself a squeeze. You worked so stinking hard today. We worked through the backs of the legs. We were working through our quads and our glutes. We had our abs in multiple different directions. We had upper body, shoulders, arms, biceps, triceps, stability through your neck. So if there's anything that feels sore tomorrow, know that you totally rocked it.